This
data science.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, and I will be going through the slides with respect to data science. And if you are not having the data science background, also it's fine. However, today I will try to introduce how data science is exactly existing and how we should, if there are newcomers, how the data science is going to help them, and all those things I will be covering here. No need to worry. And if you have any queries in your mind, you can shoot it right away so that it will be clarified. Instead of stuck in somewhere. Is it fine, guys? Yeah. Okay. Actually, today the agenda would be like the introduction to the data science and the roadmap for the data science, where and what exactly the requirements you need. And if you don't have those requirements, also I'll be walking you through that, which you need and which you wanted to get into the data science. And after that, what are the different job roles available in data science and the skill sets for specific job role which you need to get with respect to the data science. And I'll be going through one of the demo so that you will be understanding what exactly the things are into data science. Before going to all these things, how this data science came into picture, those things you should be aware. Like the evaluation, everything came into picture based on the data. Data means every day we are generating lots of data, right? It is like it might be social media data, or it is like mobile data, or it might be like any of the data, like with respect to the websites, or anything with respect to, if you take e-commerce data, there will be a lot of customer data. And if you take banking domain data, there will be a lot of banking customers data as well. And if you take agricultural data, there will be some information related to the agricultural field related information you'll be having. And if you consider the information related to the space, you will be having information related to the specific images or whatever the images captured by the different sources of the space related things. Those everything, whatever we are trying to do in the current generation, everything feeds in type of the data, whether it might be social media with respect to the Instagram or Facebook or any WhatsApp data or whatever it might be. We are generating around like 3 billion terabytes of data per each day. So actually with this data, what we can do? One of the concept comes into picture is like big data. You are aware of the name terminology called big data. What exactly the term big is like? The data is generating like this. On top of that, what insights you can provide with respect to the specific data which you are taking. That is the one thing. In with one, what exactly the data science is? What exactly the data science is like? With taking the data, what are the insights we can provide to the customers? On top of that, a data scientist should be able to work. That is the exact role of the data scientist. And actually, you will be having the information related to the massive amounts of data, like information related to the shopping or communicating, reading newspapers or listening to music or searching for information, and all the information related to different opinions like in customers informations and all those things, right? And actually you will be having the information related to the some of the real-time information related to the Amazon recommendation systems, and some of the Facebook friends recommendations or film recommendation in Netflix or any other recommendations. All these things, how these are working is based on the data science. And coming to the some of the information related to education, right? If you are going for some of the course education sites, they will be suggesting you need to choose this particular course, you need to choose this particular course. And all these things, the recommendations parts, all the AI based driven systems will be fall under these data science ecosystems. These are some of the use cases. And what exactly in market there is some of the confusion with respect to the uh, some of the names with respect to AI. What exactly AI is, artificial intelligence is, what exactly machine learning is, what exactly the data science is, what exactly the deep learning is. You might be having all these confusions, right? Now I will try to explain you the differences between all these things. And and what exactly the market it is what exactly the modern technologies and what is the data science, what is deep learning and all those things. See, first of all, what exactly artificial intelligence is nothing but artificial intelligence is nothing but it is introduced in later last 1950s, and there here we'll be applying the data. We'll be applying algorithms on top of large volumes of data, and on top of that actually we'll be using this AI driven on different ecosystems like defense departments and all complex related. We will be using the informations like actually what exactly the AI deals with is like one is like general intelligence and knowledge representation and something information related to the learning and some of the information related to natural language processing. That means it is the customer is writing some reviews in the website, right? The customer reviews whether if you purchase some mobile, you will be having some information related to the specific mobile, whether it is the rating of that mobile, whether it is like least, high, till 5 the ratings will be there. If it is least, there will be some negative comments, right? In order to capture all those things, and if you want to make those positive, we need to go through all the comments which are relevant to the negative things. Those things comes under natural language processing, and on top of this we'll be working with respect to AI part. And what exactly the machine learning is like, you know what exactly Apple Siri does, right? Hey Siri, can you give me the information related to machine learning? Then it will it will search for Google queries, and it will try to fetch the information related to what exactly machine learning is. So if you want to if you want to purchase some product from Amazon, so while you are browsing the products, it recommends similar products that you might be interested in. You might have also noticed that the combination of products is also being suggested. If you observe in specific website, it might be Amazon, it might be Flipkart or any eBay or something, the recommendation happens, right? This is what machine learning is exactly, guys. Here you might be receive a call from bank requesting to take a loan. How exactly that specific banker calls you is like, what do you think? Do they call everyone out of there? They don't have that much time. They want to target specific customer, and they need to ask for whether they require loan or not. For that, no, they call only for selected customers where they're accessing similar websites or look like interested in purchasing the specific product related to the banking or something like that. This targeted marketing is applied through clustering. Clustering is a concept called where we'll be targeting the customers with respect to demographics and behavioral information. What exactly the demographic and behavioral thing is? Demographics means we'll be having information related to the customer age, gender, and sex, and whatever the information related to the specific things we'll be having. And behavioral things means what is his purchase patterns, like what is like what exactly the product he has purchased, and what exactly like a medium amount of purchase he have purchased, or a huge amount of product related information he has. All these informations we'll be having. On top of that, we'll try to make clusters, and the ML is subset of AI. AI is the whole thing where ML is the subset of that, where we'll be focused on making predictions based on the buyer's experiences. That's what exactly. It enables the computers to make data-driven decisions on top of that. That's what exactly the ML. And there are three types of machine learning things are there. One is like supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforced machine learning. And these things again, I'll deep dive what exactly these things. Present, you can leave this aside, and what exactly the things we are going to deal with respect to machine learning area is, one is like we'll try to analyze the data, whatever the customer data we are having, we'll try to analyze them, and we'll try to collect the specific data from the customer, and after that we'll try to filter the data based upon the customer requirements, and after that we'll try to train and test the algorithms, whatever the algorithms we are trying to do. And on top of that, we'll use that algorithm for predictions. Predictions are nothing but you are having some historical data with you, And with the data we are trying to, for suppose if you want to find out the sales for next month, what exactly we try to do is like we'll having information related to May till May. We are having information from year 2020 January 2022 May 2020. We are having the data with respect to customers, and each customers where information we are having. What we'll try to do is like based on this 5 months data, we'll try to predict the 6th month, that is like June month data. We'll try to predict using the machine learning algorithm. This is how we are using machine learning as a concept. And after that we are having the another thing called deep learning. What exactly deep learning is an approach to machine learning that is recognized via neural networks. What exactly these neural networks is like? Neural networks is built based upon the human thinking, like neurons and all those things, how those things are working. Based on top of that, they have built these neural networks as a concept. It is set of tasks, specific algorithm that makes use of deep learning networks that are specifically inspired from structure of and functionality of human brain. That's what exactly these things came into picture. And deep learning is motivated from theoretical arguments from circuit theory and current knowledge institutions of neuroscience related stuff. And deep learning algorithms can be classified by various types and identified with patterns to provide the desired outputs from the inputs whatever we are given. That's what exactly it is. And some of the, and what exactly these things you got to know, right? Now you should know what exactly the data science. Data science is nothing but the multidisciplinary terms of what exactly I had explained related to machine learning, deep learning and AI. And this is like, this makes this is the area where we'll be using the different techniques of data interference and algorithm development to solve the complex analytics problems. Here, it makes use of scientific processes and methods and algorithms to make it happen. What exactly things? And initially, the goal was to identify the hidden patterns in the raw data. Data is nothing but whatever the information we are having, which helps to identify the business to enhance and expand their profits. We are having some information related to last 5 months data, and we are predicting something related to the 6th month. What will happen with the 6th month? Because we are having the data and we are trying to predict something. In order, we predicted something and we'll try to find out the sales for the 6 months, so that we'll be getting benefited out of this 6th month, 7th month, 8th month, whatever the predictions we are trying to do. That's what exactly the data science helps in. And data science life cycle mainly has 6 phases. One is like discovery. Data discovery part is one thing, and after finding the data whatever we are having, we'll try to make some data preparations. Like it might be we'll be having using the SQL related we can do, or based on the basic Excel related we can do some data preparation part. Or after that the model planning and model building, and after that communicating results with the business heads like CEOs or like delivery heads or what, whoever it might be. And after that we are trying to operationalize, we are trying to implement and deploy those things and get profits out of this. This is the whole life cycle of data science, which we should
Data
be
cleaning.
aware. Yeah, data cleaning, all these things comes under this data science part. Till here, guys, do you have any questions, or do you want more explanation related to any of these phases?
No, sir, I'm
Because
looking for healthcare manufacturing. In the healthcare, I'm looking for
yeah, for any field, actually the overall thing whatever I had explained, right? This is the phases in any with respect to any industry we can implement the same things. But
whether it is a retail purpose, whether it is a manufacturing, whether there are all these.
manufacturing, healthcare, or e-commerce, or it is like banking domain or finance or whatever it might be, the phases are same, but the
These phases
choosing
are
the
same.
yeah, the phases are same. And with respect to the problem statements, we need to choose which one, whether it is enough to do the problem statement with machine learning, we will be choosing with machine learning. If not, if you want to analyze more on top of that, we need to go with deep learning. or if it is like, if it is not enough to do with the deep learning, we can go with the AI driven, like robotics, like chatbots or whatever it is there, right? Nowadays if you go for any Flipkart or any anything related to the websites, there what they are trying to do is like, instead of directly calling to customer care, there will be website where we will be giving some information related to our reference ID. If you raise some complaint, right, there, then there itself, the chatbots, what it will try to figure it out is like, it will try to give you some problems like, as you are a customer, they are having some information related to, consider you are a telecom related industry, there you had recharged some plan for some around 399 plan or something. Then you recharge that plan, but you are unable to call to customers due to some technical problem. Then you will go for some that Airtel or Jio customer care, and there you will be having some assistant, virtual assistant chatbot, where it will ask for how can you help you, sir. You will be explaining some information related to the issue with respect to recharge. Then it responds like, how much plan you had recharged, and it will ask for some informations, whatever the default information it is stored. And if your information is not resolved, then it will take to the some customer care. Till then it will try to resolve the issues based on the information it has, based on the different customers it deals previously, right? This is some of the use cases I can explain you. Is it understandable now, or do you have some more questions? Are you clear, Rajesh?
Yeah, clear, Murli. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks. Now, I'll be whatever the definitions I was explaining previously, I just had kept over this in order to understand. And this is the areas where we'll be focusing, like in AI even I had given, right? In machine learning part, actually there are some something related to machine learning where we'll be having predictive analysis, analytics part, and coming to NLP, we'll be having some information related to the voice related information. We'll be having translations and text classification and clustering with respect to specific customer. All these areas will be there. With, if you consider the speech related information, speech to text or text to speech, there are different Google translators are there, right? Where we will be working, and all these are the different areas where we are working. And and the vision related, there are some of the areas where we are focusing, like image recognition part, where exactly nowadays if you observe, right, in any if you are taking a real-time example, if you are going on bike, the traffic nowadays they are generating the cases, right? Like it will capture your number plate, and it will try to give you, if you didn't put your helmet on your head, then it will capture that specific image, and it will directly give you the bill to your specific owner, be the specific owner of that bike, right? All these things comes under the image recognition part, which is which comes under the data science ecosystem. These are the some of the things I can explain. And coming to what, why, and what next, and how the data science will help us, these things you need to understand. Like the information related to the uh, data science is like, the actually what exactly internally data science is like, they are divided into mainly four things. One is like descriptive part, another one is like a diagnostic part, and another one is like predictive part, and another one is like prescriptive part. These are the sequence of steps which we will follow with respect to any problem statement in data science. Because actually what exactly data science deal with that is data, where what happened to the historical data, what exactly happened in the past. That's what exactly the descriptive analytics area focuses mainly. And what why did it happen in previously, why it had happened, that one will be seen in the diagnostic area. And what will happen in the future, the predictions whatever we are trying to give comes under the predictive analytics part. And what exactly the results we are trying to give after doing some applying some machine learning algorithm on top of that, and what are the results we are trying to give to the customer. All these things comes under the predictive analytics part. That's what I had mentioned here, what, why, and how we can deal with this data science part. These are the common things we can do with respect to any domain specific things. As someone had asked me with respect to healthcare related, right? I will try to explain how
Yes, sir.
descriptive analytics helps in a real world in healthcare
Sir, in
by
the
giving some.
diagnostic analysis, I have checked out how to prepare the X-ray apart, panorama,
Yeah,
panorama
yeah, yeah,
X-rays. I have checked it out.
yeah. Yeah, I'll give you one example so that you can take it in a easy way. Like for instance, consider that there are some unusual high number of people are admitted in emergency room in a short period of time, right? So descriptive analytics, what exactly tells you is like what is happening and provides real-time data with all the corresponding statistics like information related to the date of occurrence and the volume of the data and the information related to the patients, whether it is like inpatient or outpatient or whatever the informations, whatever it is having, we will try to visualize them using some of the graphs, charts, and other reports or dashboards based on the history, whatever we are having. That is what exactly we'll be doing with specific patients data. And coming to the diagnostic data, what exactly we can do is like we'll be taking the descriptive data as a step further and provide the deeper analysis to analyze the question, why did this happen, why that specific patient came into picture, and what we can do with the information we are having. That is like in diagnostic, what we'll try to do is like we'll try to do root cause analysis, why this specific thing happened. This includes like using some of the data discovery and data mining, and we'll try to drill down the specific problem of that specific patient and the data. And here in healthcare example, what I can give you is like in diagnostic analysis, what we could explore the data and make correlations. Like correlations, for example, it may help you to determine that the basic symptoms like why this patient came, like due to the specific symptoms like high fever, a dry cough, or with the fatigue, or a point of same infectious agent. What are the things this guy specific patient came into picture? You have to more explain for sudden spike in volume of that ER thing, why it had to give sudden spike. All those information we need to capture. And coming to the predictive analytics part, what exactly we'll try to do is like we have the historical data and feed it into machine learning. Here, where we will be applying some machine learning model that consider key trends and patterns. And here, the model is then applied to current data. Current data means we are having the data with respect to the patients, and we'll try to do something related to the next, what will happen. Back in our hospital example, what we'll try to predict analytics is like we may forecast a surge in patients admitted to the ER in the next several weeks. How this specific patient is going to behave in next 1 week, or based on the condition of the specific data, how we can see his ER information based on the patterns in the data and the illness spreading in the rapid rate. How we can all based on all these informations, we can predict the analytics of specific patient as well. And after that, what is the prescriptive analytics? What exactly we'll try to do is like in prescriptive analytics part, will take the predictive data to the next level. Now that you have an idea of what will happen in future, like next week information of patient will try to find out, and what should we do. It suggests various courses of action and outlines what potential implementation would be for each patient and all those things. And after that, what we'll try to do is like back to our hospital data, what we'll try to do is like we'll know the illness is spreading. The prescriptive analytics, what
Hospitality management. Yes.
yeah, hospitality management, what exactly it try to do is like tool may suggest that you increase the number of staff to handle the adequate treatment to influx the patients, and all these information. So we can suggest that we can improve the staff, or we can give, like if you have some information related to the past history of the specific information with respect to patient, like his illness related information, we can give him some of the suggestions like we can give the telemonitoring suggestions, or with respect in order to get him back to hospital, we can give information related to patient like in phone, or like SMS, or for doing follow-ups, or whatever the information recommendations we can give to the patient directly based on his information. That is what the actionable insights we can do in prescriptive analytics part. You are clear, right? Now, what is the steps it is going in specific to healthcare?
Yes, yes, yes. Carry on, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. And after that, coming to the roadmap, now we got to know what exactly the things are with respect to data science. And now, coming to the data science ecosystem, there are some of the roadmap. There should be some roadmap for each and every technology. Keep data science aside for some time. You are planning to do some course or something. You need to have some roadmap to structured way where we need to achieve that specific goal. In order to do that, we need to have some roadmap, right? So in order to do that, what exactly you are having, some of the people are having the information like I kept here CSA as a background, right? Yeah, some people said that you are having AAA background, and some people are saying you are having healthcare background. Some people are saying you are having manufacturing background, or some people saying that just you had completed the engineering, right? You might be having different bachelor of a degree or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. But what exactly I was trying to say is like if you have some basic computer knowledge, it would be enough. And however, going further, we'll be explaining the coding part, whatever it is there we'll be having. But having a little bit mathematics background, it would be helpful. Like basic operations on mathematics will be helpful. And if you are into CSV, it will be like CSC background, it will be more easy for you guys to pop up the things. If you are not into CSC background, if some guy said that he's having triple E background, it doesn't matter. However, the things will be covered with respect to CSC related thing. If you are a non-computer programming background, you will be teaching with coding from scratch, and dealing with whether it is like R programming or Python. You will be dealing from zero, and will be taking near 100. That doesn't matter. But what exactly the technical skills you require, I had mentioned over here. Like going forward, we will be teaching all these things. But keep in mind this, these things should be required, and I will be teaching all these things. This is, as I said, this is the just roadmap. Don't worry by seeing all these things in the presentation. And these are some of the technical things which I will be dealing and teaching, so that you will be easier to deal with the data science. And coming to the data science, some of the information I need to give for each and everyone who is attending this session is, you should be like little confident, one thing. And you should be aware of each and every domain things. Like if you are into like e-commerce, if you are having some knowledge, you should be having like you should concentrate each and every domain, because data science is not into specific domain. It can be applied with respect to any domain. That is the advantage of the data science. If you want tomorrow to switch into some healthcare, and if you want to switch into some retail related domain, it is very easy. And the work will be same in the background. Just you need to get the information related to the domain. If you learn some domain information, it will be like very easy. If you are into data engineering team, like someone said that you are into SQL related, it doesn't matter. But if you are into SQL related also, first thing once what you need to know is like domain knowledge is must for any specific areas, whether it is like data engineering team or a data science team, or if you are into BI team, like visualization, some might be doing on development and dashboards and all those things. It doesn't matter. With respect to anything, the domain matter, domain thing matters. That's what actually. And this is the things you will going forward you will be learning. I think you guys are able to see, and I think no need to explain this, because actually going further you will be getting to know the roadmap and all these things, just for your understanding and what are the topics we will be covering. I had mentioned this roadmap, right? And after going to the different job roles, what exactly the job roles will be available with respect to the data science? As one is the data analyst role, and another one is like a ML or AI engineer, and third one is like data scientist role. And I think the guy who is already working in the data DBA part, his role currently comes under the data engineering part, and his aim is his option might be like he can go to data analyst or ML or AI engineer or a data scientist. If you are not into these three fields, the people who are like new to this field, they can choose anything, as if they were having luck, they might get directly data scientist position. If not, they can start the career with the data analyst based on the learnings you have learned this, with this current institute, right? You can choose any of these based upon your capability.
And
All the skill sets will be far near same, and you will be having uh, good exposure to this. Yeah. Rishabh, you are asking something. Sorry.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I'm a fresher, and
Yeah, yeah.
I've done
That's
B.
what I was.
No,
I was.
I've done BTech. No, I've done the BTech in this. For this, in the data analyst role, the R and the big data should be clear also. I've just seen it. And
Sorry, Aaron.
R and big data should be clear out.
Aaron big data. No, no, no. This is like the specific job role wherever you go. It is not like
Okay,
I was explaining in a layman
okay,
point of
okay,
view. These
okay,
are the
okay. I will tell.
uh,
I will after this. After this, I will tell you, sir. Please continue your
yeah,
session.
yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, sure. These are the different job openings you will be having, and what exactly the data analyst does is like he will be dealing with numerical data and helps company to make better decisions, like what is the skill sets he will be having, or some of the organizations, as Rishabh is saying, they might have big data information, or some of the organizations will not be having the skill set with respect to big data. There is like depends upon the again organization level, it will differs. And some of the skill sets which we will be knowing is like, one is like analytic skills, and second one is like mathematical skills, like matrix multiplication, transformation, integrations, and mathematical operation related to the linear algebra. All these things will be taught under mathematical things. And communication skills, why communication skills is like, if you are in these three roles whatever I was showcasing in this specific slide, communication skill is must and should. And if you are not into this communications, we can develop however we'll be talking all those things. And after that, critical thinking is like we need to think in different ways, like we are like thinking problem statement in one in fixed solution. Instead of that, we need to think in different ways. Instead of doing this in the fixed way, how we can do in different ways in order to solve these things all comes under the critical thinking part. And after that, attention to the details. When we are dealing with the clients or when we are facing clients, we need to ask the specific questions with respect to the data and all those things. And some of the technical skills and tools where I had explained like in 7th point, like R, learning Python. If you have the big data ecosystem knowledge, it will be good. It is like not we should have must and should we should have the big data ecosystem. It is not like that. And coming to the ML algorithms, whatever I was trying to say is like, what exactly we'll try to create is like creating a program where it enables the system to make some actions. Actually, in the UI part or any Java or other C++ or any other fields, what exactly they does is like they'll try to ask you like do some specific task, like you do specific task with respect to one thing. But when coming to the ML or AI engineer, he will try to explore the data, and he will try to give some inputs to the managers or high level people, so that it is not like specific what this is the day you need to do some task, you need to do this. It is not like that, but you are exploring new things on with respect to the data. That is what ML engineer does. And the skill set required for ML engineer is like, one is like programming skills, whatever data analyst have, same things will be having for ML engineer. and calculus and statistics, whatever the mathematics part here a data analyst is having, he will be having more knowledge into calculus and statistics. Those things, however, we'll discuss in future things. And the guy who is saying that he has some information related to triple background, right? That thing helps here, like signal processing, like voice to text, text to voice. All these things helps here to deal when we are doing some machine learning algorithm on top of that voice related thing, recordings or text related information like customer reviews, all those things. You can it will be helpful for you in signal processing or text processing. Text processing is nothing but NLP, natural language processing part, wherever we are doing, and applied mathematics, and it is like advanced things will be having with respect to the specific role again. And coming to the data scientist part, where we'll be dealing with complex data, and we'll be giving some suggestions to CEO level, and like how it impacts the overall business. This is what exactly data scientist does. And the skill set of the data scientist will be like, he should have analytics skills and statistics skills, and even whatever the machine learning engineer does, he should have that knowledge as well. And problem solving skills, he should be having more problem solving skills, like logical thinking, all those things he should have. And advanced machine learning things, when it compares to deep learning model, whether he is dealing with image processing or NLP or high level things, he should have all these things. The data scientist to have all these skill set. And business communication is like, for example, previously I had attended some banking domain client, like facing directly, we are showcasing some demo with the banking, how I should help the banking domain client. Like banking is the area where we need to focus on risk part, because actually the fraudulent transactions happens over there, and where we need to give the clients with the solution, where how you overcome with the specific risk area, and how this machine learning part helps. That's how the data scientist should speak with the client, and he should know about the data, what exactly they are having, and how we can deal with them at an appropriate time he should deal. And that's some of the technical skills coming to the data scientist. What he should have is like R, Python, and BI related tools like Tableau, Power BI, like all these things. And some of if you have the big data ecosystem, it would be like, for example, big data ecosystem also, what exactly the data scientist should focus is like Spark ML. Spark is the area where it will integrate ML and data science part, where you can apply Spark ML, like from streaming the data from data engineering part till data developing machine learning, all whole things we can implement in a at a stretch. Like streaming data, if you are having some streaming data, live information, if you are having some get information like scores and all those things, on top of that, if you want to do Spark streaming, is one of the capable things where we can apply. Like that, data scientist is the person who is having all 360-degree skill with a good asset. That's what actually the roles are we are having in market. This is the skill set. And after that, coming to machine learning techniques, whatever I think some of the people will have few research little bit about the machine learning part. These are the areas where you will be having three types. As I said earlier, I'll discuss what exactly the supervised learning, what exactly unsupervised learning, and what exactly reinforcement learning. I uh, said you previously, what exactly the supervised learning is like. We'll be having the information related to the suppose consider you are into banking domain, then loan default prediction is the use case you are having. Loan default in the sense like, you are taking some loan from a bank, from bank, suppose consider some SBI or some other bank. Then you are taking a loan from the bank. Loan default in the sense, what exactly loan default is means, whether you are paying that loan correctly or not. If you are paying that loan, you are non-defaulter. If you are not paying that loan at a proper time, you are like defaulter. Like for a bank, there is terminology called defaulters and non-defaulters. So if you want to predict that specific customer is a default or not, here what is the dependent variable over here? Here the customer is the dependent variable where whether he is going to pay the loan or not. That is like it comes under the supervised algorithm. When it comes to unsupervised algorithm, we don't have any information related to the specific customer history, like whether he had paid that loan or not. It comes from unsupervised, where we are not having any target customers where we need to focus. Then what we should do, we should go for clustering when there is no target area. Okay, and after that reinforcement learning is a third phase where we are having these self-driving cars like Tesla and all those things comes under it. Self-driving cars and like robotics and all those things comes under reinforcement. Like this is like different ML parts where any machine learning segregates into three parts. If I are having the target variable or target customer with respect to banking, if I consider, then we need to go for supervised learning. If we are not having any information with respect to the customer related information, we'll go for unsupervised learning. Reinforced is the advanced where the system learns from the real-time behavior. Like if when a car is going, suddenly another car comes into picture, then how we should capture the information? It is like real-time things, whatever it happens, right? All these things comes under reinforcement learning. Again, in supervised learning, there are different algorithms. One is like two types of classification. Regression thing is one thing and classification is one thing. In regression there are different algorithms, and classification there are different algorithms. Similarly, coming to the unsupervised learning, we are having clustering and we are having association rules, and like there are different algorithms again. And coming to the reinforcement learning, there is nothing like that. There are no classification or regression we'll be having, but at high level we are having. These are the different techniques of ML part. Guys, do you have any questions with respect to this slide? Okay.
The linear and logistic.
All this comes under supervised learning algorithms.
Acha. All these
Yeah.
are come into a supervised learning.
All these machine learning algorithms, whatever are there, right? This comes under, so this will be applied in supervised part. Okay, linear, logistic, SVM, support vector, machine decision. But again,
KNN clustering algorithm comes in unsupervised learning, na?
Unsupervised, exactly. But in supervised learning, we divided the algorithm also into two types. Whether if it is like a continuous variable, we'll go for regression. If we are dealing with categorical data, right, male or female, or like loan default, yes or no, like whether the risk is low or high, yeah, all these are categorical variables, right? These things comes under categorical variables. Those things will be machine learnings will deal with classification problem. If the data is purely into numerical variables, or suppose previously healthcare, one of the question he had asked me, right, the patient is at high risk or low risk. If the information is having low or high risk, then we'll be going for classification, where we'll be applying the SVM or random forest or any algorithms. In both we'll be having the, in regression we'll be having SVM, and in classification also we'll be having SVM. But the way is like, if we are having numerical data, we'll go with SVR, support vector regression. If we are having the categorical information in the data, then we'll be going for support vector classification. Now you are clear, right?
Yes. Clear out in the classification. That's important.
Yes. That is how again going further in classes, you will be getting what exactly. Just this is like high level picture.
Yes, sure.
Yes, yeah. And after that, I'll be giving you now in data science, you need to know, right, what are the different use cases we are going to deal, and how are the problems we are going to face. You are having, right, now that thing I will be explaining. For example, these are the different use cases with respect to different domains. As one guy had asked me with respect to healthcare, what are the different areas we can focus. And like that actually I had mentioned here. See, when coming to travel related, right? Travel related, it might be like when you are booking a flight, right? If you cross check the flight information one time, and if you are cross checking for at least 5 or 10 minutes with respect to specific website, whether it might be like traveling websites like Make My Trip or any other. If you are going for indirect, if you are going for air services like Air India or any other related Indigo or something, if you check for 10 minutes and if you close that window and if you again go back to that window and after some time you thought like booking the ticket for some time, what exactly that specific website does is like it will try to increase the amount by 2x or 3x. Consider that Ola or Uber, right? Now we are, this is the live example I give. If you check for 2 to 3 times, again he is having the information with respect to specific user. They will increase whenever you are traveling at a rainy season, right? You will be observing and you will be facing all these consequences. They will increase by 2x 3x, and they will try to increase, right? That is where the data science is going to apply, where we'll be doing the dynamic pricing part. Similarly, predicting the flight delays, we'll be having the information related to this flight information, and when it is arrival and departure information, and we'll predict at what time that exactly the flight will be coming and all. If you observe in flight in airports, they say that arrival time is this, uh, departure time is this. They will be displaying, right, all these things based on the real-time data. They will be applying data science on top of that, and that is the one case with respect to those areas. Coming to healthcare, disease prediction, like nowadays there are some of the predicting areas where whether the specific patient is having cancer or not based on his illness behavior and all. We can predict whether the patient is having the cancer or not, and whether he is in future he might get or not. All this information we can capture in healthcare domain. When coming to marketing area, I'll explain one thing, guys. Like in marketing, if you observe one thing, when you try to purchase one computer peripheral, like a computer part in e-commerce website, when you purchase a computer laptop, if you purchase, then he will suggest you with speakers, or he will suggest you with like a mouse, or he suggest you with some of the keyboard or suggestions you will be getting, right? This is area where you will be applying the cross selling and upselling. Like he will suggest you like purchase this mouse because it might be helpful. And when you are going like yeah, with the cart, they will suggest you with take this one and add this particular amount. They will give some suggestions, like that is what upselling and cross selling. They will try to apply on each customer. That is how marketing does in real time thing. And customer lifetime prediction is nothing but or suppose you had purchased some product in Amazon. Consider that you had purchased in January month, you had purchased some TV or something. Then they will see for 1 month, they will see, they will observe you, and they will try to message you like you will have 20% off on specific things and all these things, right? Off on the messages, you will be getting the text messages on all those things, because they will capture your log history and keys history, what are the website. And if you look at the TV and you didn't purchase that, and they have that information related to whatever the website you are having, and log information, like you had gone through this website, what is the button you had clicked, and like clickstream analytics, all the information they are having. And if you didn't purchase, they will always suggest you like your product got 10% off, please purchase, and all these things are coming, right? This is where the customer lifetime value they are trying to find out. And if the customer is not purchasing something, they will try to acquire him, like they will try to focus the specific area. All these things comes under customer lifetime value. And coming to the same e-commerce related, I'll explain you one thing. There the customer will be giving the reviews with respect to customer reviews, like positive review or negative review, whatever the review might be, they will be giving, right? There we can take that data, and on top of that we can analyze the customer feedback, and in order to make that negative feedback as positive, that means like with respect to product, they are writing some negative feedback. The product is worst, so I was facing some so and so issue. So the companies, what they will try to do is like they will take the specific negative related information and they will try to fix the issue whatever the customer is facing related to battery issue or related to cam issue or whatever, and they will try to their service, improve their service. That is how the sentiment analysis helps with respect to data science. That is the one area. And as I explained in insurance and in, fraud related, as I was explaining banking, the risk related, whether he is like high level risk or low level risk or fraudulent customer or good customers, we can choose in banking domain is one of the area we can do. And as I was explaining, like in automation and automation engine in driving automation manufacturing industries, it helps some of the areas like self-driving cars. Tesla is the biggest example I can give you with respect to artificial intelligence and data science ecosystem. And coming to automation, robotics is the area where IoT, all these things comes under picture, right? Where robots are giving the information as chatbots and all these things comes under this automation part. These are the some of the real-time data science use cases what I can explain you this. Coming to AI solutions, data science I had explained, and few AI solutions what I was explaining, right? As I explained previously, if you go for Amazon on website, here it will give like suggestions like if I had looked at some particular book and they were suggesting different books with respect to that. When you go to Netflix, if you see horror movies, it will suggest you the remaining suggestions are also with the horror. If you look at some melodies with respect to musical aspect, then it will suggest you musical industry. That is how the recommendation engine works with respect to AI point of view. And coming to digit classification, where I was explaining with respect to traffic violation, right? They will be capturing all this information. This is how they will try to or capture the information. This is comes under image classification. And coming to handwritten thing, like for example, if you are the project which I have done is like for suppose consider you are filling a form for Aadhaar card or any like insurance. If you want to take purchase some insurance like healthcare insurance or something, you will be filling some forms right before doing the things. In that case, the customer is going to fill some information and they'll be having the information related to the name, demographic, customer information, personal information, all those things, right? There will be returning in handwritten. So when the customer is there is some data entry guy who need to again refill all these things into system. In order to skip that level, what exactly we'll try to do is like we'll implement some AI driven use cases where we'll try to do some machine learning algorithms and find out instead of manually entering those things, we'll try to write for some machine learnings and we'll try to capture that specific numeric or character thing as mentioned here in the image, like 4, it should predict as 4, 2 alphabet, it should predict as 2, or if it is a name categorical variable, it should predict as Murali as MURALI as exactly that specific name. That's how different we'll take a different handwritten formats and we'll try to train that into machine learning model and try to predict this as shown in this specific solution in AI. But this is the things I can give some of the things. And coming to the thought process, how the data scientist thought process it should be. Here are the some of the questions you should be asking when coming to the technical aspect of when you are facing a client. You should be having some of the knowledge like asking business questions is one thing, right? Proper business questions. And coming to the technical questions, some of asking proper technical questions, and after that analyzing the above to quickly understand the problem statement. That means first I'll explain what is the business question. You might be getting the question like what exactly business question you are saying about, what exactly it is there. I'll explain you that. That means they will provide you some data related to some information. Okay, some data client provided some information. Data will be having, if you are into non technical background or non engineering background, actually you will be having some information, right? For suppose some of the people came from engineering background, right? So I'll explain with respect to their point of view what exactly this is. You are having some information related to students. One is like you are having some 90 students in your class. You are having attendance system in your engineering classes, right? One is like a student roll number will be there, and after that you will be having the department you will be having there, and again you will be having information related to the whether he is present or absent. All this information you will be having, right? The age, number, sex, like male or female or whatever it is there, all the informations you are having. So this is what exactly we will be having in data science role. We'll be having some information, similar information we'll be having with respect to retail, healthcare. Previously, if I have explained related to healthcare, I said about the data, how, what is the data we'll be having. One is like patient information. What is the name of that patient? What is the age of that patient? What is the problem he is having? And all those things you will be having. And after that, business questions is like what are the data fields we are exactly having with the data. That is one of the business questions you need to ask when you are going with the dealing with client. You need to ask some of the information like data fields. What is the data fields like? What are the data fields available and set of records available in that data? All the information. And after that, what are the different demographics available? As I said, like different like age and all these informations and all with respect to the data what is having. And data dictionary is the one of the major thing you should be aware and you should be aware of, because if you are into banking domain, you don't know what are the data fields available. In banking, there are some technical aspects which you should know, and you should be before applying machine learning model, we should be keen and care about each and every data point, like the headers, whatever it is there, because each has the prior importance with respect to it. What exactly I was saying is that what are the different business definitions available for critical data elements, like metadata, what is the data if they are not self-explanatory. Some of the data fields will be there. For suppose I was saying date of birth, and I don't know exactly the age of that particular age information in that data. Then what I'll try to do in further information from date, what date of birth I was having, and today's date. I will take the today's date and minus that date from the date of birth. Then the date of birth, if you minus that with the specific date, today's date, then you will be getting the age of that specific things, right? These are the things. Some of them will not be given and some of the data will not be available. In those cases, we need to create some feature engineering part, and feature engineering nothing but from existing data we need to create the new data points, like as an example however I give, like that we need to create. That is how there will be some of the data points will not be missing. We need to clarify about each and every thing. And after that, some business rules we are be having, like what are the different rules to validate the data. We need to clarify. Is there any missing values or null? There will be some of the information missing, like an employee is not coming, student is not coming to college for 10 days. Information is missing, right? Why the information is missing? And all the details we should be aware. And coming to next, like there will be some of the data like out of range information will be there, like missing data, like some typo errors will be there. We need to clarify all those things, why this thing is blank and all those things. An example, specific set of predefined questions we need to ask, that comes under the business specific questions. And coming to the technical questions, what exactly we need to ask, and what is the data availability and frequency, how long the data is there. Previously I explained, like we are having 5 months of that data. We need to question like what is the data volume we are having, and what exactly the data source, where it is coming, whether it is stored in database or whether it is stored in RDBMS, whether what is the file structure, and whether it is stored in a cloud platform or which ecosystem it is there, and the mode of the data, like how we'll be pulling or pushing the data, all the data information we need to get all the technical questions, means all these things comes under this. How many, for suppose one of the guys said that he is into data engineering team SQL, and he needs some of the information like what are the databases available in the ecosystem and how many tables are available. All these technical questions we should ask, like how data volume is, how much historical data is available for to do some machine learning on top of that, and size and incremental growth going forward, how much the data can be increased. All these type of questions should be clarified. After that, what we should do is like going for code point. After analyzing all these things, quickly we should understand the problem statement. Okay, these are the data points we are having, and after we'll be getting some understanding about the data. We'll be asking about the attributes is nothing but the data points whatever we're having in the specific data. Now we'll get to know the problem statement. What is the problem statement? We need to find out the loan default, whether he paid or not. Oh, that is the problem statement. So on the spot, what we should be capable that we should suggest some machine learning algorithms in order to solve that problem. Like based on the attributes we are having, we can solve the problem in this way. In this way, we should suggest 2 or 3 problem solution, so that the client will be picking the specific or appropriate thing what he exactly wants. And this is how the thought process of data scientist should be, right? Guys, till here you are aware, right? The workflow, because actually this will help instead of going forward, will not stuck you anywhere. That's why the flow I was saying is like the phases and the problems and the things, whatever it is there, I was explaining in a clear manner, right? And for your understanding, I'll try to give a small demo, right? So that you people might be getting how what I was speaking and what I was saying, you'll be aware. I'll be showing some loan default what I was explaining, right? I'll try to show that see, the data set means whatever I was speaking previously. The data sets, whatever your data, whatever you are getting from client, you will be getting the data in this format. It might be Excel, JSON, or whatever it might be. For now, I was for understanding purpose, I was showing you Excel sheet where I was having information related to some of the customer banking customer data I was having. So previously I was saying some of the attributes, means here ID is one of the attribute, member ID is the attribute, loan amount is the attribute, funded amount is the attribute. These are like the first row, whatever it is there. These are the column names I was having. These are called as attributes or data points, whatever I was just saying. In order to find out the loan default or not, I was having the information related to the his employee title, whatever he is having, and his installment amount, whatever he is having, and the interest rate, whatever he have taken, and the term, how many terms he had taken for granted for paying the interest and all this information, and the annual income, how much he is getting, and verification, whether he is verified or not. Banking, they are having the things, right? Whether the loan status, fully paid, charged off, or what is the status of his loan thing, payment, plan payment, what is the information, and where the specific data I had collected, I had taken that browsing information over here. And we'll be having given the data set like this. And after that, I'll show you one quick demo where don't worry about I was showing you something, but this is how the future thing you will be working. This is the lending club data. This is the interface I was showing you is like Google Colab is the cloud platform where I was using the free resource in order to showcase the things. Here is the problem statement where I was trying to find loan default or not is the thing. But just here what I was explaining is like I was showing the things in Python for now. And this is just an EDA part. EDA is nothing but exploratory data analysis part I was showing you. Here the main focus areas would be like data understanding, data cleaning, data analysis, and the recommendations. These things I was mainly focusing on EDA part. Here, what I was trying.
Yes.
Sorry, Rishabh. Can you
NumPy,
please repeat?
pandas, and matplotlib.
And all the Rishabh, can you please repeat? I was broken your voice.
No, the NumPy you're using, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, I'm using.
Okay, fine. That's good. That's good. Actually, the people who are not aware, please don't worry. These are some of the packages which we will be using for applying machine learning algorithms. Okay. This is
Okay.
how the interface look. Just I was, as this is introduction part, right? I was trying to showcase how the things will be going further. That's what actually. These are the some of the packages we will be using in Python. Don't worry about this. Just this is like how going further, how it will be. I was just showcasing the same Excel sheet, whatever I was showing you over here, right? That thing I was loading in Python, and I was using same data, whatever I showed, right? ID, member, loan, funded amount. Same thing. If you remember in Excel sheet, that thing I was loading, and with Python, I was trying to see the columns. Just I was giving loan dot column, whatever the column names are there. Just I was trying to showcase those things. And coming to the data cleaning part, as I was explaining, like in technical questions, if there is some null values or any data missing, like I said, like 10 students are 10, sorry, one student have taken leave for 10 days, the information will not be available there, right? So those columns will be empty. So for that, we'll be cross-checking the data cleaning. Data cleaning means we need to check whether that information is available or not. In this data, if I had cross-checked, this employee title is having this many missing values or like empty fields this is having, like that we are just showcasing how many null values are there. I was just doing the descriptive part. I explained you right in the starting descriptive part. I was saying, right, that thing I was checking whatever the data is having. I was just cross checking historical data I was having, what is the information missing. I was just cross checking but with Python I was doing that. Okay. And after that, and now what I was trying to do here, the loan information we are having. So how many months information, like month wise, how much missing values are there, how many percentage of missing values there. I was just cross checking all those things. Don't worry about all these things. Just this is for understanding how going forward it will be. And we can even plot some of the plots, like there is some grade for with respect to specific customer. Based on his behavior, there are some grades. So A is the base grade. A from A there are till G, there are some grades. I was just plotting those grades and term. 36 months term how it is there, 60 months term how it is there, 90 months term how it is there. Just I was plotting and I was just cross checking and visualizing instead of seeing manually. Instead, if you visualize the things in a pictorial way, it will be good for both the customers and ourselves to analyze more from the data. That is what I was doing here. This is like EDA part how don't worry about whatever I is showing. This is EDA part and how coding looks like this. Okay. uh, uh, Guys, till here you are aware, right? Aware means like demo is the part how going forward it will be. I was just explaining, but don't worry till here. Do you have any queries? Hello. Guys, I was done from my side. If you have any questions related to now whatever I had explained, please let me know. Rishabh, you were asking something previously.
Murli, hi, Reena
Yeah,
this side actually. Yeah.
yeah, Reena. Yeah,
Okay,
Reena.
in the demo, okay, we have understand what is the data science, what is the need of it, and how we should do it. But my question is that how you will proceed the things, how like what is our learning part? If I'm talking about our learning part, so how it should be like that. Yeah.
Actually, the learning part side, actually, I don't know whether Mandeep has provided you the list of course content and all those things with you or not.
Okay.
Once, yeah, Mandeep. Okay, fine. Going forward with Mandeep, I think what I can explain you is like actually there is a course content where we had come up like information related to statistics, starting from statistics background uh, till Python programming, machine learning, and whether it is R programming or Python, it is like choosing between the two, whatever you people are comfortable based upon your understanding. But basically, we'll start with R, but it goes with the Python. There is some course content like it will start from scratch, where if the people is not person who is from a non IT background, if he is if he is interested and if he is coming to this course, we had designed a structured way where he is a layman point of view will be dealing with the things. That is how the course content structure goes, Renu.
Okay.
Yeah, and with respect to specific use case, if I say specific algorithm, for suppose consider previously someone is asking about linear regression, I'll
Yeah.
take you through what exactly linear regression, and I'll be explaining you industrial use cases with respect to specific algorithm and how you should deal with the real-time problem statements. That's how it will be going.
Okay, and what about my, exploration to, if I talking about any live project or anything, because actually, having, getting the information and working information, it's a very much difference, right? You
Yeah, yeah.
learn more things.
Yes, exactly. That's why we are giving each use case for specific algorithm, and we are even helping you with this like what explanations. Yeah, I will be giving you assignment, and you can come up with your solution. If you are stuck with somewhere, you can even come with the real time use cases, and if you take some Kaggle use cases, and you can come up like yeah, from the learnings whatever we taught you, you can come up with those, and you can take the real time things and you can ask the queries. That's how it goes in.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you have any questions, Rena, from your side?
Mm, no, nothing from my side.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Rena. Then coming to remaining, guys, I'll be naming, I think you can clarify so that everyone will be clarified whatever the notes you are having. And coming to Rishabh, you are asking something. Sorry, previously you were asking something. I missed that.
Yes, sir. I'm asking whether
Yeah,
you will start from the scratch or
yeah. Because the scores we should start from scratch, because the people coming from different areas, and there are students even from engineering graduates like who had completed and they were looking for. So in order to further understanding level, we should prepare the content, right? That's how it goes.
sir. Actually, I'm doing a Python in which preparing for myself and doing the same in which we are looking for it, and it's the same process in which we are looking for it. And I'm also using this, but the cleaning, how to clean, how to explore the data, how to make some data more beautiful and more customization so that we
Yeah,
can use this.
yeah, those things will be taught in this course. That is the main agenda, right, for this course going
Oh,
forward. Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah. As this is introduction part, everyone should be like clear
Yes, yes,
first what
yes, yes,
exactly
yes,
is data science, because the
yes,
people
yes,
who
yes.
are into
I
non-technical or
understand. I
non-data science
understand. I
background,
understand
everyone
that.
should get know. Yeah, that's what the reason I was covering these things first. So actually going further they should be aware like what it is coming into picture. That's why I showed this demo also,
Yes.
like not into clear way, but they should get like into their
Ah,
minds. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
was
Okay,
doing. Yeah.
okay, 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 okay.
Any questions, Rishabh, other than this?
So, sir, other than this, for this healthcare issues for my part was
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You were clear, right? From healthcare, whatever I had explained, or
Yeah. Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, clear.
Okay, fine. And Rajesh,
Yeah, Murli, tell me. Yeah, Murli.
who is speaking? Is it Rajesh?
Yeah, yes, Murli.
Okay, okay. I was seeing here in mute. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Rajesh, do you have any questions?
No, as of now, you covered my questions also covered in your demo. So I don't
Okay,
have any
if you
questions
have any
now.
questions, you
So
can
go.
ask.
Yeah, definitely. In go ahead
Yeah, yeah.
communications, I will ask questions which I will face
Okay,
difficulties.
okay, sure, sure, sure.
As of
And
now, no problem.
Pavani, uh, hello, Pavani. I think she was in chatting. I don't know. There is some issue. Okay.
In Hadoop,
Uh,
can you let me, sir, explain me that in this, sir? I have a once query in Hadoop.
who- One second. Thanks, Pavani. Thanks, Pavani. I think. Yeah. Who is talking? This
Sir, I
is
am talking.
Rishabh. Yeah, Rishabh. Yeah, Rishabh. Tell me.
Yes, sir. In Hadoop, there is a programming language also to clear about these things.
With respect to big data ecosystem, I was not going to deal with the big data part, but I was mainly into machine learning and data science part. I think once you can clarify those things with Manideep with respect to big data part. Okay, this is purely into ML and AI part. I was talking about.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank,
I think
thank.
Bhavan is not having, but I was having some other with Manideep. I was not having someone name here. It is showing a scholar one. Can you please confirm who is the? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manideep.
Tell me, Muluk.
I was seeing someone with the name caller one. I was not knowing who is this. Can I know the name of that person so that I can
Actually, I also don't know who is he. I also don't know his details.
Okay, but the guy who is with caller one, can you please introduce yourself and if you have any queries, you can ask us. Manideep, I think he was not responding. If everyone is fine, I think I was done from my side.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Once you can confirm this caller one, I don't know. Okay.
Sorry, Murli.
Actually, I don't know
What
who
you
is
have told?
caller one. No, I was saying that I don't know who is this caller.